Greetings, fellow conquerors, and welcome back to Great Britain here in EU4, where we're fighting a war against the Danes and beating them handily. Now, the supply limit situation in Norway is pretty pathetic. That being said, we're going to land a 26 stack onto this province. We are probably going to take a decent chunk of attrition for this. So what I think we're actually going to do is we're going to wait till the end of the month, have our troops sit here in the Norwegian Sea, because we want to get a 100% war score. We want to take as much land from Denmark as we possibly can, though we don't know how much that's going to be. Alright, the end of the month has come. Our power projection has dropped so low that we can no longer support having even 2 generals. And that's really unfortunate for us, because there's not really much we can do about the power projection situation without getting into a war that will likely ruin our country. I think we'll just send in the 26 stack. Now, of the 2 generals here, I think we keep the general with the siege stack. How Denmark has a 5 shock leader, I have no idea. It is a little bit silly. But thankfully, we have a lot of artillery, which means that we're going to be able to leverage a fire advantage over them. Now, if we take a quick look at what we can do in a peace deal here. Annexing most of Denmark here would grant us a pretty sizable coalition, yes. So maybe we don't go for that. Maybe we go for Iceland. Maybe we go for Orkney, which is a very, very minimal amount of aggressive expansion. The problem is all these provinces are likely going to rebel. And I wonder if we look at the state map mode here. Okay, so Iceland and these small islands are all in the same area as these smaller islands, and Orkney itself is part of the Highlands. So bearing that in mind, I think that we will go ahead and take all of them. I do want to get a foot in Norway here as well. Now it's interesting because if we don't take actual Danish land, basically no one cares that we're taking all this land. If I go back to the area map mode here, we can see that Kristiansand, Bergenshus, and Zogen are all in the same area, so it may be wise to take all of these together as a package. That being said, Akershus is a nice province and all, but I don't think it's really worth it for us. And this is less aggressive expansion anyway, and would probably allow us to take Finn. But even then, taking Finn doesn't really help us all that much either in the short term. Other than, basically, it doesn't even deny Lübeck access because Lübeck has Lolland. Which obviously means that they're going to be able to do whatever they want in that region. And we are taking a pretty hefty amount of attrition, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out this stack so that we stop just bleeding troops for no reason. I'm going to go ahead and put them back in Nord-Jylland, because it is a nice grassland province. Alright, we're going to go ahead and pick up Tech 11. No, we're going to hold off on getting Tech 11, because we are probably going to need the Diplo points in the peace deal here. Alright, let's go ahead and blockade Akershus. It's always been really interesting to me that, despite being in such close proximity to each other, that Norwegian, Danish, and Swedish are all different languages. They're all base Germanic, but they're different languages. It's very interesting. Now we're gonna hope for a capitulation after we take this fort. Yes, Denmark would now accept this. We will take war reps. We will take all of their worldly possessions of 200 ducats. And I think that'll be the peace deal for us. Yeah, I don't see any other provinces that really help us. We're already getting a decent chunk of aggressive expansion. And it's already going to cost us quite a bit of admin points as well. So, I think this is the peace deal we're going to go with. We're picking up all the Antarctic islands, including Iceland, which will allow us to begin colonizing the Americas once we pick up either exploration or expansion. I am thinking about taking expansion first instead, because we don't necessarily need to actually explore. Alright, let's accept. Here we are. British Western Norway. It's very specific. Ooh, game's getting a little, framey. Hope it doesn't crash on me. I am going to save real quick because I am a little concerned about crashing. So we're going to go ahead and save. Then we'll continue on our merry way. Alright, let's start coring all the provinces that we just took. And we're glad that we didn't buy Tech 11, because it meant that we would have had to prolong the war. Which obviously would have sucked. Now I think we build another factory, because we have the money to do so. And I think we will build it in Paris, because it has the highest production development of any of our other provinces. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We are losing money monthly because we all our forts are maintained, and as we all know, forts are nothing but a source of bankruptcy for any nation in this game. Thanks, Paradox. I think we are going to reunite the smaller stack with its sister stack. Although, if we look here, the army limit in these provinces is not good. So maybe we don't reunite them yet. Maybe we just leave them be. We are going to pick up Tech 12, which, of course, means that we now have dudes with guns! Woo! Their hats are green. Oh, check this out. Our cannoneers have green hats and like these turquoise pants, even though our main troops have kind of like the red coat thing going on. I never noticed that before. Alright then. We are going to replace Condata infantry with free shooter infantry, because look at that morale damage. Woo! And the fire is the same, so why would you not go with, you know, the Tercio is obviously going to take fewer casualties, but we're all about winning battles. We need to, you know, levy our morale advantage, if we actually manage to have one, of course. We are more prestigious than Austria, which is nice. None of Austria's allies really looking that useful, and he's down to losing 0.08 Imperial Authority a month. Our other military leader, our general, has perished. We are left. He's the one we recruited before. You know, he was the 2-3, and yet he died before our 1-2-1-1. You know, it's. I'm glad that in the next expansion they're going to show general age. Actually, I don't think they've announced that. Actually, no. What I think I'm thinking of is Aruma's video on saying, "Hey, why can't we know how old our flippin' generals are?" Which is a valid question. We're gonna lower army maintenance for a little bit here. It is very nice having an army of 67,000, even though we monetarily can't really support that. Now, we could deal with a plague for 3 years in Kent, and Kent is a pretty good province. However, getting 25% autonomy there is not very nice. So we're gonna wait just a little bit, and we're gonna get the money to just pay for this event, because 70 ducats for us is just nothing. It's really like insubstantial, I would say, in the grand scheme of things. But we also don't want to take out a loan. Now, after that war, Austria is only at -33 aggressive expansion, which means in time, in a short amount of time even, we're very quickly going to be able to attack once again. We will pick up the natural scientist. Hopefully, this natural scientist can redeem himself after the horrific failure of the Okay, hold on just a second. How is this in any way, shape, or form an English name? First of all, there are accents on every single word. This, I believe, I think it's either a Slavic or a Turkish accent mark on the here. This is not an Englishman. I'm not going to complain about him. I just thought they were supposed to be from your country, you know? I'm a little confused by that. It does look like we're going to get a fairly sizable Norwegian rebel stack fairly quickly here, so we are going to raise maintenance once again, because we're a little bit concerned about where they might pop. I'm going to go with recruitment time instead of losing stability. 30% increase is pretty terrible. We're going to go ahead and pick up Diplo Tech 11. And yes, we can probably expect the Norwegian separatists to rise next month. We have no idea where they're going to rise up. Could be anywhere. So we're going to attach this army to the fleet and get ready for the Norwegians to attack. Now, Sweden is conquering what's left of Denmark here. Not really much we could have done about that. We could have taken a little bit more land, but I felt like the amount of aggressive expansion and overextension we took was enough as it was. And we are going to finally start annexing Desmond. It's going to cost us 3 per month. We make 6 per month. We expect to be done by 1561. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and start. So Desmond, you've had a very good run. I think you've done quite well, considering how well your country usually does. All the same, I fear your time has come to an end, my dear friend. Now, provinces are pretty close to coring. The Norwegians getting very shy all of a sudden. All those cores have just finished, which is pretty great. Where is this province? Is this, okay, yeah, it's the other part of Iceland. We're going to go ahead and start converting this province. It will probably agitate the Norwegian separatists. But that's okay. We expect these things to happen. Alright, in Agder, we have a rebellion. So we're going to go ahead and land the troops. Hopefully we can get there in time to save our other stack. Oh, there we go. A timely rescue by the British Marines. And now all is well in our wonderful country. We have barely lost any manpower. Well, we did just lose 10,000 there, but all things considered, not really a problem. Now, Gascony still has no allies whatsoever. He only has an 11 stack, and, well, he is on Tech 12. He also has defensive ideas, which means his troops are not going to be as much of pushovers as we might hope. Well, that being said, I do believe it is time to move in the army, where we will prepare for yet another war. We may wish to wait a bit to see if Austrian aggressive expansion goes down just a little bit. It is going down by 4. It looks like 4 per year. Oh, 3.3 per year. Okay. That's still pretty good. Now we are waiting to see what Castile does. I believe at Tech 10, Admin Tech 10, Castile can form Spain. We're going to improve relations with Castile, since our relations are only at 115. And we'll leave this 15 stack on a vacation in Iceland. I hope they have a good time. We're going to go pick up the army in the Norwegian area. We're going to wait a little bit to turn these Norwegian provinces into a state, just because the autonomy is already so high. Considering Denmark just annexed them, and considering that we just conquered it, it's definitely very high autonomy provinces right now, even if we turn it into a state. I think I would rather take the national unrest here for 2 years, or a year, a single year. It's not really as big of a problem as it might seem. Now, the nice thing about being a large, rich province is that we can levy a fire advantage on pretty much every opponent that we encounter. Which obviously is going to be extremely useful for us. Well, we are going to take a tick of attrition there due to my negligence. Lose about 700 troops. That's a shame. Although we do gain 520 every month, so not really losing all that much there. And hey, speak of the devil. And Spain has appeared. Hello, Spain. And Spain is also about to annex Naples. When will that be done? In January of 1550. Very nice. Very nice. So the question now becomes, how long do we wait before we attack Gascony? How much longer do we wait for aggressive expansion to tick down? And I think the answer is we wait until 1550, until aggressive expansion with Austria has ticked down to -20 with Austria. And because Austria is not neighboring Gascony, we should theoretically be able to take more land. Now the question for us becomes, do we pick up Tech 12? We don't really get an advantage out of the monarchy, and the war with Gascony is probably going to be very short-lived. So I think we wait so that we can core the provinces that we take from them. I am keeping an eye on these some of these other rebels that appear to be appearing. Spain tells us of the Triangle Trade. Good job, Spain. Making some money. Getting some of that sweet, sweet ducat action. And yeah, we're just waiting for 1550. We're going to go ahead and up the game speed so that we can get to 1550 and then declare war on Gascony. Alright, cool. Our fund the bureaucracy has passed. Get a little bit more money just because we're not spending as much on advisors, which is very nice. 1550 is almost upon us. One more month. Which means aggressive expansion has ticked down to a sufficient level. We are going to attack Gascony, who still has 0 allies for some bizarre reason. I am going to start fabricating, building a spy network in France, while we attack our enemy here, the Gascony. One thing we do want to check real quick, we gotta wait for a diplomat to get back from Spain. We're going to check and see how strong Spain is now that he has annexed everything. And he has 779 development, which is actually more than we have. So our current ally is actually stronger than us now. And combined together, we may actually have a chance at defeating the Austrians. Especially once the Netherlands rise up, or better yet, if the League War happens and we're able to, levy an advantage in our favor. Now, it doesn't look like any of Poland's rivalries are going to be ending soon, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can actually rival the Ottomans. And we're certainly not going to rival the Spanish. That's just silly. They're our only ally left. And while they are rivaled with the Austrians, it currently serves no purpose for us to rival them. But we are going to attack the Gascons. We're going to declare for Bergerac. We're just going to dogpile this army here. Not really worried about the losses, even though their morale is huge. It's 4.3. Provinces are converting left and right. It's good stuff. Truce with Pomerania and Saxony has ended. We have to wonder... Brandenburg has a sizable coalition on him of a bunch of smaller countries. If we go to his heat map mode here, he is surrounded by a lot of enemies. However, he is allied with both us and the Polish Commonwealth. So I doubt that the coalition is going to attack him. Makes you wonder how much land he took in that last war we were in. Cultural unrest. We'll gain 25% autonomy in a province that already has 75%. I don't see a problem with that. Better than rebels, I say. Yes, I do say better than rebels. We're already 30% done annexing Desmond. Very nice. Portugal declared on Tunis. Good for them. Then we are going to ambush the Gascon army. They were foolish. They left the safety of the mountains and the river crossing, fled to the woods. And we're going to stack wipe them now. Alright, we have a 96% war score against them. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can take more than 2 provinces without getting a coalition on us. That being said, it does look like we would be able to take this province here of Rouergue. I actually don't even know. There are too many vowels in that word. I'm sorry. French language, you're out of control, man. I'm worried about you. Now, if we wait another 2 years, Austria's aggressive expansion with us would be lowered, and as such, we could take 3 provinces out of this war, which I think is really important to us. So we are going to wait for that. So we're going to have to wait for 1552, I believe. because Austria can still join the coalition. Now, it's a shame that we don't border any of, Austria's allies, because then we could very easily do a war with them. And really, we're really going to be waiting for a chance here to strike at the Austrians, and I don't know how quickly that's actually going to come. It is something I am a little concerned about. We are going to up the game speed. The Danish and Icelandic separatists have calmed down just a little bit, which is good for us. Austria now attacking the French. Did Toulouse ally the French? He did. And it looks like most of Austria's allies, or most of France's allies have joined the war. Now, Spain would join us in a war against the Austrians right now. And the question at this point becomes, could we defeat the Austrians and all of Austria's allies? If we go to Austria's diplomatic map mode, the answer is looking like no, really. Would any of our other allies even join? The Portuguese have no interest in joining. Brandenburg also has no interest because they are threatened towards us, which is a shame. Croatia has spawned. Hello, Croatia, once again. Somebody asked me to look at the rest of the world, and here's just a quick glance. We have a good Sweden, Novgorod, and Polish nonsense going on here. Mali, of course, doing well. Tunis doing well. Mamluks getting crushed by the Ottomans. Ethiopia appears to be having some degree of success, and unfortunately we can't really see the rest of the world to see what's going on. Right, but we're going to wait for 1552 very quickly. And once we sign this peace deal, we will be drawing the episode to a close. Lose 1 corruption and gain plus 50 opinion. Look at Desmond. Look at Desmond go. He's giving us minus 1 corruption, even though we only have 0.31, and his opinion of us goes up. That's great. Thank you, Desmond. An empire with colonies and vassals resembles a rowdy family, and it takes firm but fair hand to keep everything in line. Recent policies have won the admiration of our subject nations. We have Desmond's approval. We have Desmond's approval. How wonderful is that? Alright, in 1 month we should be able to sign this peace deal without getting Austria into a coalition. Austria would be at exactly negative 50. But the thing is, Austria is also in a war. So I don't know if they'll be able to join, and I doubt their war is going to end within a year. So we're going to go ahead and take the risk. Worst case scenario, they coalition us, which is pretty horrible. But we're going to go ahead and take these provinces. Very nice. How do the Spanish feel about us? They're still at positive 133. We're going to core these provinces. And I believe that they're already in an area that we own. Yes, Bergerac and Cahors both are. Very nice. And we will go ahead and pick up Admin Tech 12. Good stuff. Alright, well, that's going to be the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me. We've made some significant progress here, not the least of which being British France is now properly written on our French holdings. So thank you for joining me, my fellow Britishmen, as we continue to expand our land empire in Europe. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.